Growing up in London, there was definitely a massive mix of people, and I didn't really have time to reflect on where I was from. I remember staying at my nan's with my sisters when we were younger, and she would always listen to Sunrise Radio, and it would come on at 6 in the morning, and we'd have to sit through all of the prayers and the chanting, and it would just go on for hours and hours. Over time, growing up, and as I've got older, it's really made me realise that I'm completely lost touch with that side of me. Visiting India on my gap year was a really nice experience for me because I was able to see where my nan is from and all of my other ancestors. I really enjoyed it because it allowed me to get back in touch with my Indian side. I was in India in a tuk-tuk, and I remember looking to my right and just seeing this party going on in the street. And at first I didn't realise what it was, but it was an Indian wedding. The music, the sounds, the smells. And then I thought, I've never actually experienced this for myself. People knew. I was with 3 white friends, and all the Indian people, like men and women, mainly men, would come up to me and say, "Mum, you're looking Indian." And I'd say, "Yes, it's because I am Indian." Yes.
The Indians
they can tell. What would you guys say if I were to say that I wanted to have an Indian wedding, like within the next year, I want to find an Indian boy?
I'd say, would the English guy agree to that? Because there's no way you're marrying an Indian guy.
You never know. What would you say? I just remember her making rotis and chapatis and semias and bhajias, like every bit of food that we had at hers was Indian. And growing up, because I was like, 5? Well, from when I can remember, it's always been Indian food. And when you're that young, you don't realise that this is a part of your culture and your tradition that you're embracing. Yeah, you just think this is my nan. And we'd be like, oh, I've got to go to temple again. But it's like, I'm so glad I did it now. Cause
looking back now,
I've got the memories, and
I'm really glad
it kind of all makes sense. And you're kind of learning about it without realising.
Because if you didn't have that, you probably, because like I say, we've never been to an Indian wedding.
That's why you get that. So you've got the engagement, and then you've got, for the actual wedding, you need a few outfits, because it's not just the wedding day. You have a henna night, a mendi night. So you could have just a tiny little mendi night where you just get a group of girls.
Is that just girls?
Yeah, that's just girls.
I have had my henna done before in India, but it was a very small piece. And I think Mendi henna, typically for a bride, will be much more elaborate. Traditionally, they get it done because you're meant to look as decorative and beautiful as possible on the day of your wedding. So they cover themselves in Mendi in order to look perfect for their husbands.
There's lots of different texts that says that its first origin was somewhere in Syria. Henna's a sign of basically luck.
Right.
And joy, and the more henna you have, which is what brides do, get their maximal henna done, the more luck and joy they have. It will be like an orange colour at the beginning when you first take it off.
I think the time that it took to do, I think it makes you feel quite special that someone was putting all this effort and detail and skill into something that's going to be on you. And it was also really lovely to see the transformation, sleeping with it overnight, and then seeing it transform into this really nice design on your hand. I just kept looking at it. I literally just stared at it all the time when it was there.
Pretty important. Like all events in an Indian wedding, it's just a chance to bring together family again.
And you can get saris which are not tie-up saris.
You can wear a lehenga.
You can wear a lehenga because you're Punjabi. In fact, it's probably more relevant that you don't wear a sari, you wear a lehenga, which is what Punjabis wear.
I'm going to start looking at lehengas now, I think. One of the most intriguing things about Indian weddings is that the bride, groom, and all of the guests dress up in very bright, beautiful clothing. And for me, this really sets them apart from any other wedding, as you can literally wear whatever colour you want. Apart from red, because that's the colour that the bride wears. I think it would be a really, really exciting experience for me to try on a lehenga or a sari of my own. Which dress or sari or lehenga do you think would be perfect for me to wear?
Right, I picked this one for you because I think this will look beautiful on you. I'll help you change into it and we'll take it from there and you can see how you feel.
It's
and
amazing.
You feel as though you're getting married.
Yeah, the big day has come. Okay, shall we get it on?
Yeah, that's right. I'll come and touch you.
Thank you.
Lift your skirt up and step down.
So girls actually wear this all day and dance.
If you lift that up from that side,
Okay.
and if you step down.
Wow.
Right, how do you feel?
Oh my God, if my nan was here or my mum, they would...
I've actually got this on back to front.
Did you want to take?
So you've got this draped around you, and then we have a separate headscarf that goes over your head as well.
Right. Oh, I love it. I want to buy
So
it.
you'd have two headscarves like this. Yeah.
Oh, it's weighted.
Does it make you feel like a princess?
It actually does. I've never looked at myself and thought, wow, that looks really, 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 really amazing. Felt so great in it to know that I'm not just a girl wearing a sari, I'm a girl wearing clothing that's part of my culture and part of me. Something that I should be wearing on my wedding day. If I were to now plan and organise my own Indian wedding, what would be the different stages or functions that I'd have to think about organising?
But you'd have to have an engagement, which is not a party. So you'd have to have an engagement, so it's all about the in-laws. It's very much, an Indian wedding is very much, it's not really about the bride and groom.
Really?
It's really about the family.
The haldi is the day before the wedding, and it takes place in both the bride and the groom's house, and they're completely separate. The bride is in her house with her immediate family and friends, and she is surrounded by everyone that she loves. And they're initially celebrating the passing over of the bride, who is soon to join the groom and his family.
If you move your curries in the corner,
Yeah.
because it's supposed to be 7 curries.
7? And one thing, and one piece of paper. Oh my goodness.
It's all vegetarian.
Wow. I've never eaten rice with my hands and curry. You use the pronto or the puri as a tool to pick up the curry and put it in your mouth. But then when that was gone, everyone was just going in with the hands and the rice. Nisha explained to me that they use turmeric paste and they rub it all over your face, all over your skin. Any part of your body that is exposed is covered in turmeric, basically. Family is a big part of Indian weddings and Indian culture altogether. Because I'm half Punjabi, but I never got in touch with my Indian side. So I'm just trying to find out more through this wedding and learn more about it. Nisha's really nice. She looks stunning. Have you seen her? Yeah. All in red. It's amazing. Do you think I should have an Indian wedding?
To be honest, if you are from an Asian background.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful thing. I didn't, and my wife didn't. Not because we didn't want to,
Right.
because we didn't have all the support networks. But were we to have not this amount of support, it's too much. A little bit, like my parents or some elder brother or sister.
Yeah.
Of course we would, because I think it's a one thing, lifetime thing.
Yeah. The food, the sounds, the smells, the people, the detail, just everything, but every little thing was amazing, was wicked. Was so carefully thought out, so carefully chosen. It had so much more energy than any other wedding I'd ever been to before. From what I saw at this wedding, being Indian is being a part of a huge family, so many relatives, lots of giving, lots of blessings. The more you give, the more joy and luck you have surrounding your family and friends. One of the strangest things was the fact that I was the only girl not wearing a sari. Every single girl at the wedding had a stunning gown on, all different colours, like sparkling, and I was the only girl sitting on my own in normal westernised clothes. It was actually quite sad to feel so out of place amongst my own culture and my own background. It does make me think of my nan. For her to know that I'd be here now, I think she'd be really touched, and I think she'd probably love it. She used to have to drag me to temple, me and my sisters. So she knew that I was here now. I think she'd be really, really proud, really happy. It's something that should have been embedded in my childhood and growing up from a very young age, I guess, but never was. Seeing this all for the first time, discovering the importance of family, culture and tradition, makes me feel like I've rediscovered a large part of who I am, a part that was once lost. Something that was so distant now feels more like home.